Hello, this is Cynthia Ortiz. It is just after midnight on June 14, 2023. Just after midnight. I'll do the disclaimer first, so we make sure we get that in there. You're the proximate cause to a hell of a lot of things, Mr. Perry. Also, I assert my right to equal protection of all the laws protecting women against violent offenders, attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon, witness tampering, deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce, grand larceny with intent to coerce, interference with commerce with intent to coerce, interference with contracts with intent to coerce. Human rights violations are very serious. Human trafficking is as well. Those are very serious, depraved, demented crimes. Far, far, far outside social norms. Voyeurism, stalking, hacking, all of that, cloning. When you contact me, Mr. Perry, we always get more because everyone gets all pissed off. You were told not to do that, and you do it anyway. And you know what happens when you do that, and you still do it. It's like you like getting caught. It's like you like pissing my guys off by going at me and terrorizing and horrifying and harassing and threatening and terrorizing and horrifying and going at me and bothering and bothering and bothering. And then my guys get mad. It's a motivating factor. They want to put you in jail. That's why they get what you just said all the time. Every day we quote you. You're not quoting us. We're naming your people. You can't name even one of mine. And, so that started with the McNamara email that you know of. I am not your baby. Do not call me that again. Do not fucking call me that again. I would like for you to stop hacking me and get out of my phone and stop trying to talk to me. I'll never help you. We all want you gone. Everybody's sick of you. And you really need to get that through your head. You have terrorized and ruined and robbed and raped and ruined and terrorized and horrified and robbed and raped for a decade, directed at me. And since you did it to me, everything changed. Life as you knew it ended forever. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. Who is Oscar, Mr. Perry? Explain for whatever court you're sitting in front of lying to today. Who is Oscar? Okay? Don't you call me baby. We're not a couple. Your delusion is off the rails. The more you contact me and invade my privacy and cause me some sort of loss, the more we get. It is a highly motivating factor. The more you contact me, I moved twice to get away from you. 2 times. Completely changed my life. Everything in my life changed. So that I could get away from you and never again have to hear what you think and how you feel and what you need. You got a lot of people who have a lot of power very worried about me. Very, very concerned about my safety, my well-being. And they told you in March 2020, you don't invade her privacy anymore. That's illegal. Cut it the fuck out. You don't contact her or her family again. Not in any form. Not your creepy little shit you do that we know about and you think you can go and lie. You're not going to lie in our court. We got you. We got the creepy shit you do. We got it. You're not fooling us. You might fool Mr. Koonsweiler. You might fool Chief Franklin. You might fool Chief Ridley. You might fool those guys in Florida. But you're not going to fool us. Do you understand? Not us. We're too smart for that. We quote you every day. We'll name your people right now. Lucius, Calvin, who's bald and fat, Blankenship, Desiree, Sonjay, Beverly, Renee, James, Ruben, Richard, Dickie. Right? And who's Oscar? Huh? Lawrence, Andrew. Who's Oscar? Explain to the court who's Oscar. We quote you, you're not quoting us. So I assert my right to equal protection. You might fool everybody here. You're not going to fool our guys. They're on a need to know. I work for them, and you know that. You've been trying to get me fired. When and how I'm paid is none of your business. It doesn't concern you in the least. You're the offender. I moved 2 times to never again have to hear what you think and how you feel, and you need a lie, and you want to know who's helping me, and no one gives a fuck. You know why? Because when you blow my life up and you take something that doesn't belong to you, and you ruin relationships, and you ruin my reputation, and you keep trying to put me back in jail, and you put me in jail, and I lost my home, and my mugshots everywhere, because you didn't get a date. You got rejected. Boo fucking who. All the rest of us can just move on. You're a fail if you can't also. You fail. You can't even keep up. What would you do if your son acted like you? What would you do if your daughter acted like you? Well, how do they feel when you betray them and you're up here in Oklahoma all the time? That's maybe what everybody else is worried about. How your victims feel about what you're putting us through. Your family's as much of a victim as I am, almost. Charles, do not contact me again. He said in March 2020, you don't invade her privacy anymore. It is illegal to do that, and you stop. You don't contact her or her family in any way, shape, or form again. Not directly, not indirectly. Don't contact him. That is illegal. You stop. You should know where she is. You shouldn't care. You should know what she drives, and you're threatening her every day to take that car. They know you've wrecked my car 5 times. They know everything you've done. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. We're naming your people. You're not naming ours. Who's Oscar? Who's Monique, and where is she right now? We know about your list. We know about your code words. I knew I was trafficked before, not after. I'm not trafficked now. You sold me to some pathetic loser in Houston who can't get a date the normal way. Okay? Get over it and move on. Act like a man and act your age. He said she's not to be broke again. Stop stealing her money. We've got a list, by the way, of how much you owe her. $1,000 a day for watching me in the privacy of my home, using my body for your pretend love life. Plus $2,000 a day for doing it without my consent. Plus whatever amount of money you've taken. They can seek that in restitution, and then after your criminal charges are done, I can sue you. Again. There's been 3 lawsuits, by the way. Mr. Perry will not let me... when you sue somebody, the burden of proof is on you. Everyone can see all the evidence that I've posted, Mr. Perry, that you won't let the judge see. Now, what has happened here? Hang on. All right, here we go. So this is the use of technology for stalking. Men use the technology to voyeur, hack, stalk, clone. Get up your ass, like it or not. Men you don't like, men you don't know, men you didn't consent to do that. Charles is one of those men. My guys have that evidence. Doesn't matter what anybody else says. My guys have it. We're quoting you, you're not quoting us. Okay, connecting the dots is what a police officer is supposed to do when he gets a stalking report, not give it to the offender, so that he can obstruct justice and destroy your evidence. Now, what I also found out, because when you contact me, and you take my money and you pester and bother and pester and bother and pester and bother and bother and horrify and terrorize and pester and threaten and harass and threaten and harass, my guys sit there and watch you do that. Okay? They collect the evidence of it. They're going to put you in prison. That's why we're doing this. Okay? You understand me? Am I talking slow enough for you? Listen, Mr. Perry, one thing we found out because he's being investigated is that he has Huntington's disease, and it causes paranoia, delusion, hallucinations, psychosis. He is literally diagnosed psychotic. That shit crazy. Because who does the same thing every day that gives you the same results? He does everything she hates, and then he can't understand why she doesn't like him. And he does it the more she hates it, the more he does it. Can't understand why people don't help him. I'm not a special ed teacher. I can't help you with that. How you're not in a nursing home already, I don't know. I really don't. The more you bother me, the more you get caught. And you just bother and bother. It's like you like getting caught. So there's a theory that either you want to go to jail because you think you're into guys and you think it's going to be some kind of guy love fest, and that's not what's going to happen. You'll probably get the hell beat out of you if they don't put some protective measures in place, because you're a sex weirdo, and the prisoners are repulsed by guys like you. Didn't you hear the Jeff Epstein thing? It's a very real fact. I'm sorry if you don't like that. Second of all, Or he enjoys and gets a sick thrill out of pissing everybody off. Because when he goes at me, he pisses all the guys helping me. They get all mad. And then he gets caught, which gets his guys all mad. So everybody's mad, and Charles just sits back and watches everybody fight with each other. Like he thinks that's funny. That might be the other thing. Because why would you do the same thing every day that does nothing but get you caught for 7 years? Huh? Explain that one. So how you're not in a nursing home now, we don't know. But we found out you have Huntington's disease because when you go at me, we get intel. We find out stuff like that. That you drugged Mike. Mike was drugged. He didn't do it. Mr. Perry, do not contact me. I will not help you. He's typing in my phone right now. Everybody know for the record. Charles Perry just typed in my other phone. Is it Mike leaking? I will never help you. The more you ask, you got a lot of nerve. Boy, that makes us furious with you. Don't ask me. Don't contact me. Get out of my phone. It is illegal to hack. So I assert all my rights. This right here is what you're supposed to do if you're a cop. Watch that video. Okay? You don't give the offender the police report. And then let him kill a cop. And then just let that go too. This is, these are my rights. I assert my right to equal protection in the application of Title United States Code 1512 and 1513, Title 18 of United States Code. Okay, witness tampering. How many perjured statements are they going to get you on? How they know? I mean, there's a list. You got a list of victims. We hear Catherine's on that. Is Catherine on it? Your little aide, your little staffer that used to come to Carino's and watch me, everything I do. Huh? Is she on your list? You know, we have a list too. A list of how much money you've taken from me. A list of how many hours of my time you've taken up. A list of people that work for you. A list of your code words. Muffin Man. If that's a nickname of one of your people, right? Who is it? Why don't you tell for the court who is that? A list of times you've asked me who's my leaks and I won't help you. Fuck you that you have the nerve to ask. A list of your other code words. Hansel and Gretel, Papa John's. We can't make Papa John's on this one, which means you can't deliver the victim to the buyer of a human trafficking. I want a list of how many times you were caught before you did this to me and how many after. I want that list. I want a list of your victims. I want you to give it to me. You give me a list of your victims, maybe I'll tell you who a leak is. One leak in exchange for a list of your victims. I want names and addresses, okay? Is that a deal? Have your attorney get in touch with me, okay? Email it. Tell him, email me that list and I'll email him a leak back, okay? Right? Who's Lucius? Who's Oscar? See, we have that kind of information. You don't have shit. Name one of my guys. See, you don't have a list of that, do you? And you do the same thing every day that gets that result right there. No date, no chance of a date. We're not a couple. You're delusional. Everybody's mad. Stop forcing yourself on me and everybody else. One of the people, I guess, kind of on the periphery of this, I'm going to quote him again. And again, he's vulgar. But again, I want it to come across to you. I want to get across what he got across when he said these words, Mr. Perry. How angry and how hated you are. Pete, you're in an imposition everybody's sick of having to deal with. You don't understand. You're not getting it. How sick and tired of you. Everybody is very angry at you. Very sick and tired of you. You don't matter. We do. The victims matter. You don't. Everybody's worried about how we feel after you've taken everything we have. After you threaten what little we have left. You want my car? Again? Really? It's not your car. You wanted me pulled over again to get my car? They recorded you. Please take her car away. Please pull her over. Use the DoorDash app. Get her driving up Yale. Have somebody pull her over. We heard it. Take her car away, please, then she'll like me. Please take her car. Nope, that's not how that works. What happened instead is we heard you say that. We got that. They got 5 live feeds coming in all the time. I don't hear all of it. I don't need to. It's on other shit. Doesn't have anything to do with me. How long do you think I've known Catherine was one of your victims? I'll tell you what. That's something that I've known for a long time. If you meet that girl, you can't miss it. You can tell. She's all somebody beat the shit out of that girl. She's very subservient. She won't look you in the eye. She looks like she's scared to death all the time. So if you're astute at all, you can look at her and go, that's a victim. That's one of his victims. But there's a list, Perry. Who has the list besides you? See, you have leaks, and nobody will help you with who those leaks are. Everybody hates you. Nobody's going to help you. We all want you gone. You've come up to the state where you don't live and imposed. And the guy said, here's the thing with this. That bitch is wiping his floppy dick all over everybody. He makes everybody feel raped, not just her. It's not just her he's doing this to. He's doing it to everyone. For him to have the nerve to come ask us to do something to hurt her, I don't know what to say to that. It doesn't surprise me he has leaks. If I knew who to leak to, I'd leak. He's raping everyone, not just her. He's forcing himself on everyone, not just her. And I'm sick of it. So I hate to be vulgar, I'm quoting somebody else. But the thing is, the reason I'm going to go ahead and quote that, because your guys that call you a peep and poke and pink panty pathetic Perry, there's a whole lot more after that they've said that I won't repeat. It's not appropriate for me to repeat it. It's kind of humorous, but it's vulgar. And that's enough. You get the point with that part right there. But this one, you need to understand how hated you are. What an imposition you are. It is very abnormal to want to sit around all day and invade somebody's privacy and hurt them and try to figure out how to ruin them. That's not normal. Nobody does that. You got your little group of, weirdo committee, and y'all have convinced each other that you're okay. You're not. He said, you don't invade her privacy. That is illegal. By the way, it's illegal for a reason. It's illegal in all 50 states. So you stop it. You don't contact her. Stalking is a crime in all 50 states. She asked you not to contact her. Respect her and the law, and don't contact her or her family in any way, shape, or form, directly or indirectly, ever again. You leave them alone. And you don't steal her money and interfere with commerce and contracts and all her ways that she can make money. Butt out. It's not your place to do that. It's theft. It's crime. So stop. Because I'm going to get your ass. You're going to respect the law. You're going to respect her. I'm going to do it for you. And if I have to do it for you, you're not going to like that any more than you like when we get what you just said and we're all quoting you and your names of your people and your code words. You think you're weeble wobbles. Weeble wobble, but we don't fall down. Okay, well, there's some disagreement with that. I think everybody on our team sees you as the Jenga game, and I'm the Jenga piece. When you push and pull at me, everything changed. All of a sudden, you're toppling over, and you don't even know it. All you were asked to do is leave me the fuck alone, and that's it. Mr. Perry, you're a job. You're under investigation, and I'll tell you what. I guess David went around telling everybody, well, I think she's psychic. I think she has shapeshifters helping her. I think she has Roswell aliens helping her. We're like, wow, that's some delusion right there. That's not just Charles, it's Dave too. Are you willing to bet your future on that, David? Do you think, bet your future on that, David? That it's psychic abilities and shapeshifters and Roswell aliens. Bet your future on that. How'd I get that? What, a psychic, the Fabian puzzle to myself? You're off your nut. You guys are all batshit crazy, not just Charles. So, he asked you not to do that. No one's going to help you. Never have helped you, never will help you. Everybody hates you and wants you to go away. You don't sit around and horrify and terrorize and pester and bother and pester and bother and terrorize and threaten and harass and bother and terrorize and all fucking day. Where's your alibi to show you're doing anything but what I just said? Huh? Where is it? Tell the court that. Tell the court that. Did you have a grand jury? We heard about that. When you do what you're doing, it gets my guys all pissed off and everybody gets to work. Your leaks start talking. Everybody's mad. Everybody's mad. Put a stop to it. It is illegal to do all that. Put a stop to it. So he told you to stop, and you didn't. So he's going to get more until he'll put a stop to it for you. You go to jail. That's why we're getting all this. That's the goal. Nobody's gotten closer to that goal than me. Nobody's got that closer to that goal than we have. How dare you ask me I'm never going to help you. Never have, never will. Nobody invited you to Oklahoma. I came here to be with my family and have no further contact with you at all. None. So did you have a grand jury? Again? Did you call TPD again? Please pull her over and take her car away. Please pull her over. Please, but then she'll like me. Please pull her over. Huh? You do it like once a week at least. Sometimes twice a week. Call up here and want me pulled over and take my car away and you harass her for me. Yeah, okay. Is that what that says to do? Right here? Boy, you're making people mad. Everybody hates you. Except the guys that you're on your payroll. They probably like you, but stop paying them. Ask them to do the same thing for free. See how long they stick around. Okay? You willing to bet your future on the fact that I'm psychic, David? You willing to bet your future on the fact that it's shapeshifters and aliens helping me? You guys are something. I don't even know what to say to that. So I assert my right to equal protection in the applications of every fucking law that applies here. So how many perjured statements are there? Okay, so these are to document, by the way, the crime. Because we get it before you do it, not after. I'm at home. I'm not sitting in jail. I'm at home. So what's the grand jury for? Huh? You with your false arrests. You did the same thing to me and Michael Neely. You drug us when we don't die. You do a false arrest. My charges were dismissed, but they did come up with, finally, here's the thing. I was charged in Lubbock. I'm living in Oklahoma at this point. My son's in Sapulpa High. We've been here about a year. And that was in 2000. Let's see. We moved to Oklahoma on September 9th. 2014. And the reason I remember, because I enrolled my son for school at Sapulpa High School, and on September 11th. I remember because I was like, wow, it's September 11th. So we were here a day or two, I believe, before we jumped right in and got him in school. We were in hiding when we first got here. We were trying to figure out what to do. Because Mr. Perry harassed and bothered and harassed and threatened in Dallas, Texas, nonstop, all fucking day. So we left. He did it in Lubbock, so we left Lubbock. In November 2013. Then we were in the Dallas area. I meet somebody that I really like. His name was Fabian. He was my manager at Jaguars. Charles butts in and bothers. And then, oh my God, it got unbearable. So we leave there, and we come to Oklahoma to be with my family, get away from him. Have no conflict, no problem, nothing. Put that in the past and move on. But then he came here, and they can't get him to fucking leave. Give us your schedule. Prove you're doing anything but what we say. Where's your alibi? Prove it. Why are you here? Nobody invited you here. We're not a couple. You're delusional. You're like John Hinckley Jr. I believe that some of the stalking experts get kind of worried when there was never any dating or intimacy, and it's just somebody's daydream, like Mr. Perry, like John Hinckley Jr., like the guy who killed Rebecca Schaefer. From what I've been told, they've said it's understandable to some extent when a man has dated a woman and she wants to break up and he's just having a hell of a time letting her go. So he starts stalking. It's still a crime. You still go to jail either way. But it's more scary when the guy has such an imaginary affair and a weirdo, thing going that there was never a date, no intimacy, nothing like that. And he still acts like he thinks that she's the one and all, some of the bizarre things we've heard these guys say. No, she's not. And by the way, she doesn't like you. Your vindictive cruelty is part of that. Your cuckoo bird problem is another part of that. You can't be mentally sane and stalk. You can't. There's something wrong with you. If you cannot, do what we all do. I've been rejected. You go home, you eat some ice cream, you watch a movie, you cry, and you get up the next day and you find the next person. Just like that. Some people take a little longer than a day. Some people take a couple of months. Some people take, maybe a year. But you don't stalk. You don't put cameras in that person's home. You don't hack them and try to make them fail. You don't hire a bunch of guys to harass them at work and try to kill them. You just don't do it. You don't sell them. You don't sell them on the dark web. You don't sell them to another part. You don't traffic them. That is, gal, talk about outside social norms. It's very deviant conduct. It's very offensive. It's inappropriate. So our guy said, you stop, or I'm going to do it for you. You'll go to jail. Happy to do that. So all the stuff when we're quoting you, like this right here, this grand jury bullshit, how many perjured statements were in that? How many perjured statements? They know. They got a list. Like you have a list of your victims, they got a list of that. Every time you do it. This is not the first time you've tried to do this. You've done it a lot, haven't you? Okay, so I told my attorney, I got it before. I'm not sitting in jail. I'm at home, right? Okay. It's about 12:30. It's a little after midnight. Then we got, let's see, what else? This right here, Mr. Perry. Does this not mean anything to you? Do you not understand words? The longer you impose your crime on me, the longer you invade my privacy and take my money and bother me and threaten me and harass me and call up here wanting my car, wanting me pulled over, you want to purposely avail yourself to the resources of the state of Oklahoma giving us jurisdiction over you? Huh? Having me pulled over on purpose, like targeted, using my Dasher app from hacking me? Well, duly noted for the record. Make sure you can live with the consequences, because you will. Our guys know exactly what you're doing. Doesn't matter what Mr. Consueler comes up with. If it doesn't match what we have, it's a no-go. I'm sorry. I mean, he can try to make that work. What's he going to do when our guys put this stuff in your criminal case? How's he going to explain the inconsistencies? He's going to have to. I'd like to see that. I think you need to stop using government resources to harass a woman who rejected you, and you can't just move on like the rest of us do. Go get some ice cream. Get yourself a beer or whatever you drink, cry, and move on. Go find somebody else. Where's Jacqueline, your wife, by the way, while you're bothering me all the time? Are you betraying her? What about Jordan and Matthew? Do you betray them? What lie are you telling them? What lie do you tell your family? That's your family. So maybe we're all worried about how they feel about what you're doing to them, not about how you feel because you keep getting caught. No one cares about that. They care about your victims, not you. You don't matter. I know you wish you do, but you just don't. Your victims do. Your victims matter. So he has me charged in Lubbock for filing a false police report in retaliation for a public servant doing his job as a senator. Well, if only you mattered to me politically, you didn't. You never did. You're the new guy. Your district is 86% Republican. And you're one of the smallest districts in the state of Texas. I didn't do state legislation. I did federal. I didn't like state. Those guys are just arrogant enough to get on your nerves. Much preferred federal. Guess who pissed me off the most? John Ensign. Did I ever accuse him of stalking? Fuck no, because he's not a stalker. Did he piss me off politically? Absolutely. He almost never did what we wanted. His chief of staff and I, John Lopez, and I had it out one day. I mean, we screaming at each other. So... but yet not either one of those two people got accused of stalking. Did they? Okay, because they're not stalking. Did they piss me off politically? Sure as shit did, more than once. And they pissed me off a lot. For me to be screaming at the chief of staff of a United States senator, you think maybe I was a little mad? If I'm mad, you're going to know it. So one email, I was trying to think back about what the hell they came up with seven years later. They had no political, it was a two-pronged test for there to have been probable cause to arrest me. Okay? One is the police report is false. Okay, but no evidence was collected because you obstructed justice and destroyed my evidence. I hadn't even gotten a call back from TPD yet. They hadn't seen the text from David. They hadn't seen the video from my work. And they didn't give me a blood test to rule out or confirm arsenic poisoning. Because anybody that looks at those texts, I'll show them in a minute, can see somebody was doing something to me. I'm getting sick. I went and bought charcoal. I'm just going to work. I have a legal, legitimate reason to be at work. You do not have a reason to even know where I work. Okay? David comes in and starts threatening to kill me. You're going to change your court testimony that Mr. Perry is stalking you, or I'm going to put you in the lake. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you dead. How many other recordings do they have of y'all talking about murdering me? There's a list. I assure you, they've got it. Mr. Kunzweiler doesn't have it. My guys have it. Okay? You willing to bet your future, Mr. Robertson, on your claims that I'm psychic? That's news to me. I'd go buy a lottery ticket if I was psychic. You're something. What, I psychic the Fabian puzzle to myself in jail? You are unbelievable. Some of the stuff you guys say is just outrageous. We're just like, wow, with a straight face they said that? Okay, bet your future on that, David. Charles. Who's Oscar? Who's Oscar? Explain who that is. Alright, we're quoting you, you're not quoting us. Okay? Write that down, because I'm getting tired of repeating that. Remember what's going on here, for real. Not your imaginary pretend world. For real, what's going on here is I'm quoting you, you're not quoting me. I don't want you. Everybody wants you gone. Nobody's going to help you. They're helping us. You're very hated. Everybody's sick of you. You came up here and blew people's lives up, and you don't get to do that. Your conduct is illegal, so stop. It's offensive, inappropriate, and illegal. You were told in 2020, you cut it the fuck out. Right now, cut it out. And how much more do we have now than we had in 2020? Like Mike was drugged. He didn't do it. Why is he still sitting in jail, Charles? Huh? Okay, so I don't get a blood test to confirm or rule it. The judge should have said, okay, when did the police talk to her and get her evidence and log it in, bag it and tag it and all the stuff you're supposed to do in a police investigation? Oh, they haven't called her yet. Oh, okay, well, how do we know it's false? They didn't call me until 2 weeks after I'm already in Lubbock jail. You, by physical force, prevented and delayed me from reporting the crime you committed of stalking and attempted murder and assault with a deadly. And you did it on purpose. You guys planned that. David's talking to me about you should file a police report. I'm texting him. I know what you guys are trying to do. But I'm not going to do it. Because at the time, I can lie to the offender. I don't have to tell you guys what I'm doing. You don't have the right to invade my privacy. You don't have the right to murder me. You don't have the right to poison me. You don't have the right to go into court and commit perjury to try to illegally incarcerate me and basically do a kidnapping. You don't have the right to take my car and everything I own and try to make me be your bitch. You get anywhere near me, let me say it again. Everybody write this down. How many times? Write the list down of how many times Cynthia said this. If you get near me, your balls, if you even have any, are up in your brain. Okay? It'll surprise you how fast I can do that. Your teeth will be in Mark Warman's mouth. They won't be in yours. I told you to stay the fuck away from me, and that's what I meant. That's what I meant. You're a rejected stalker. You're a sex trafficker. You're exploiting people, and everybody hates you for it. They hate your guts. We're getting the help, you're not. We're quoting you, you're not quoting us. Do you understand me? Have I repeated myself enough times for you? You're not on a date, you're a peeping Tom. It's rape. It's nasty, it's vulgar, it's obscene, you're sick and twisted, and everybody hates you, and that's why we can get information at the snap of a finger, and you can't. Everybody hates you. It's very important that you begin to understand how hated you are. I can get it at the snap of a finger. Nobody will help you at all. Stop asking me who your leaks are. I'm not told that, and I will never help you. I will never fucking help you. Everybody hates your guts, and we're sick of you. And you need to understand that. Who's Oscar? Who's Oscar? Alright, look at this. I psychicked that to me in jail. You gonna bet your future on my psychic abilities, David? You're something. That is the McNamara email. It is dated, see, up at the top there, October 29, 2015. He's trying to have me false arrested. Way before you did it, I said that. These texts are to David, and the TPD didn't see them. Arsenic and phenobarbital, I gotcha. Yes. Guess what? I'm not Wyatt Earp. I didn't come into town to mop up. Whatever corruption is going on here that you keep having people ask me about, or talk to me about, or express frustration about, I don't even want to know about this shit. I came here to be left alone. And that's it. So why am I getting bothered with questions and comments about police corruption? Don't bother me with that shit. I came up here to be left alone. I didn't come up here to mop up. I'm not Wyatt. Do I look like Wyatt Earp? No, I don't want to pick a fight with cops. Thanks, though. So, what was that all about, David? Huh? Alright, they also have to prove that the police report is false and that it was filed in retaliation for Mr. Perry's job. Like he mattered. He's the new guy. I've been in politics all my life. My granddad was a police chief, city councilman in Roswell, New Mexico. My granddad put Roswell on the map. He was on the city council when they did the whole alien thing. So, internationally, my granddad put Roswell, New Mexico on the map. He's mentioned in a lot of documentaries about Roswell, UFO, whatever. He was the chief of police. His name is still on the front door of the police station where he served. His belief was that we relieve suffering caused by crime is what lawmen are supposed to do. Lawmen and women, Mr. Perry. They're not your bitches. Yeah, to harass your victims. That's not what they're there for. So, somebody before I got here was mad about what you were doing because I got asked a lot of questions about what I'm going to do to stop it. What am I going to do? Nothing. The fuck are you talking to me about this for? What did you know then about my job? Huh? You knew something or I wouldn't have, this conversation wouldn't have happened in 2015. So you give Michael opioids, you give me arsenic, and I don't get a blood test. He gets a blood test at the hospital after he's been given Narcan, which now has changed his chemical composition of his blood. We don't know what his blood looked like while he's unconscious and in respiratory distress and has not a mark on him. No bump on his head. He was supposedly in a drunken brawl. Beat somebody so hard that they died of internal decapitation, the ME says, like a car crash. Like he was in a car crash. Only Mike has nothing on him. How the hell did you do that while you're drugged and unconscious and in respiratory distress dying? They gave him Narcan to save his life. He was going to die. If, okay, so did Judge Hanson see this McNamara email? My guess is he didn't. My guess is because you have a big problem with concealing material facts from the deciding body that could change the outcome, and you do it willfully and you do it intentionally, and there is a duty to disclose it, and you don't, which is perjury, by the way, or suborning perjury. That's kind of your thing. We have a list. We have a list of times you've done that and caused somebody a major problem in their life. I mean, you're worried. Please, I'm sad. You won't tell me who my leaks are. Who's my leak? Is it your family? Is it Al? Is it Dickie? Who's my leaks? I'm sad. Oh my God. And you have the nerve to say something like that to me? What about how I feel about you taking everything I have, including my privacy? You're off your nut. You're fucking off your nut. And continuing to go into court and try to frame me for murder or get me on harass. When I complain about it, she's harassing me. I'm going to harass her in Oklahoma. I'm going to go to Oklahoma where I don't live, but she does, and harass the fuck out of her and then lie and say she's harassing me when she tells on me. You planned that when I was in jail for this one. So the political vendetta, he's not had an issue. I'm like, what's the fucking issue? And, meanwhile, come up to Oklahoma, forged a marriage license, went around telling everybody we're married. People started questioning his sanity when they're like, well, how come he's always around here, but he's never with her? If you're married, wouldn't he be with his wife? So I don't think they're married. She can't stand him. She wants a protective order against him. 11 times I've tried to get a protective order or an injunctive order. And there's never a court. There's never a hearing where I'm there to prove, here's my evidence and here's my witnesses, so that you can overcome them. You just go in these backroom ex parte hearings and get everything dismissed. Judge Cummings, you took him hunting, duck hunting. Mr. Consuelo, do you know all this? I mean, our guys know this. You need to find out. You need to know. Don't you think? I'm not your enemy. I didn't come here to pick a fight with anybody. I came here to be with my family and be left alone. I assert my right to equal protection in the applications of laws that say I should be left alone. I have the right to my privacy. Mr. Perry does not have the right to invade it. I have the right not to be contacted by somebody I don't like. He does not have the right to force himself on me, like some sort of crazed rapist. And everybody else is complaining about it too. He's not just forcing himself on her. It's all of us. We all feel raped. Yeah. You didn't come up here and make everybody's life happy and good. You blew it up. A lot of mine, the Neelys, the Millers. What is wrong with you that you think we ought to care what you think? You didn't care what we thought when you did all that to us. So trust me when I say no one gives a fuck what you think. You are not asked. You are off your nut if you think anybody even wants to hear it one more time. So, now, here we are, all these years, 7 years later. Mr. Perry pulls something out of his ass. Oh, there's this email where there's some sort of discussion. She appears to be upset about something. I don't even remember what it was. I think it was one email. In case you missed it, when I'm pissed off about something, there'll be about 20. Maybe more. There'll be more. I'm gonna say it and say it and say it and say it, and you better fucking get it. And if you don't get it, I'll say it and say, ask John Lopez passed away. Otherwise, I'd say ask John Lopez. John Lopez heard from me constantly. All over and over. We need this, 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 we need this. One day I called John Inson's personal assistant, my friend Kathy Page, literally in tears because I'm having to tell too many patients I can't help you because your fucking insurance company won't pay for anything, and they were about to lose their legs. And I'd had enough. I go, Kathy, I can't tell one more person you're going to lose your leg because your insurance sucks. I can't do it. I need to talk to John. I've got to talk to him. I've talked to the staff. I've talked to Aaron. I've talked to Lopez. I got to talk to Senator Anson. I've got to do it. I've got to say something. He needs to hear this. So I talked to him. Now, at the end of the day, they helped us get an administrative review, which really didn't help much. I understand as more recently they have been able to get some bill written in committee. I don't think it's actually passed yet. That relieves some of what we were wanting, that addresses some of what we were asking for, but not all. So there is some headway being made legislatively. John Ensign wasn't a part of that. John Ensign did not help that way. So, needless to say, I was pissed about it. Lopez and Cohen and Kathy heard from me constantly. Hit it and 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 hit it. I want to be heard. I want to be heard. I want you to understand how bad this is. I want you to understand this is very serious. I want you to understand these people need help. These people need help. These people are going to lose a leg. These people can have their legs saved. They need to hear you. You need to listen to them. I'm talking to a guy who's got 20,000 diseases on his desk. Everybody needs to be, we got to change legislatively some so that the heart people can get something, the diabetic people can get some, the Alzheimer's people can get some. Everybody wants something. And I'm beating it because that's what you do. That's what lobbyists do. So, also, one guy can't do shit. You have to have first a vote out of committee. So what you want to do is when you get a sponsor, preferably you get as many committee members to sponsor your legislation as you can possibly get so that you get, boom, out of committee and onto the floor. You want co-sponsors in that committee for sure, and then as many co-sponsors on the floor as you can get. One guy can't do shit. So who the fuck do you think you are? This one email, I don't even remember what it's about. I do remember it had something to do with Karen Garza, who was the school board something, president or something at the time. And I do remember saying Chris Wynn and Irene are going to sharpen their knives over this. I'm worried about it. So my email was about that. And I don't remember ever mentioning this issue again. So it wasn't something that it's some issue that I was upset about. It was something that I think if I remember right, I brought to your attention because of your opponents, the people that were Delwyn Jones supporters, and they were all pissed off because you beat him, and they were, starting to get onto the, the soapbox about whatever it was. I don't even remember now what it was. And I let you know. Basically, that's what happened, if I remember right. I have to see the email so I can remember what in the fuck we were even talking about. The subject matter-wise, that was pertaining, I believe, to the schools, but I don't remember what the subject was. So, if I'm upset about something, I'm going to remember it, and there's going to be more than one email. There's going to be some conversations. Ask Chris Comer. Chris Comer was on the board, asked Steve Massengale, asked Dan Pope. How many times did they get emails from me about improving the school? So if you want to talk school, we'll do that. They didn't get one. They got a bunch. You're going to fix this problem. You got to fix this problem. This is a problem, and it's a huge problem. Guess what? I just came from fucking Nevada. Clark County. It's humongous. There's 2 million people in Nevada, in Las Vegas, Nevada. And when I file a complaint against the teacher in Nevada, they have a rule that says you got 72 hours to solve the damn problem. So you guys got 10 days. I don't think so. You got a small town and you got 3 school districts. You've got LASD, you have Friendship, and you have Cooper. And you got 10 days you need to get back to a parent. Fuck you. That doesn't work for me. If I can go to Nevada where there's 2 million fucking people and they can do it in 3 days, what is your problem that you have to take 10? They're said 10. I'm like, I don't think so. That's not going to work for me. You guys get what is the hillbilly thing going on here? What is that? So I remember discussing that with Steve, Dan, and Chris Comer. And I remember Chris Comer telling me, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, what are you talking about? What's wrong with me? And he goes, they've never had anybody do what you did. And I go, what are you talking about? And he goes, you hammered it and 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 hammered it, and you just wouldn't stop until we started making some changes. And those changes involved changing our superintendent, the president, whatever it is. We changed the whole administration. And everybody that was there causing you guys problems is gone now. They're all gone. And I'm like, yeah. He goes, I'm going to tell you right now, nobody's going to tell you this because people around here, they don't like giving you credit. You take the credit. You had a lot to do with that. And I'm like, thank you. Why don't they want to give me credit? First of all, I'm not going to take the credit, all of that, because some of that had something to do with things that had not, there was some kind of bank account problem. I didn't have anything to do with that. Nothing at all. And, and he goes, listen, there's a lot of board members that wanted to make the changes that you were asking for, that needed some parent to do exactly what you did and beat it. And this place has been fucking dark ages too long, and we all wanted to change it, but we had somebody holding us back. We needed somebody exactly like you to just pound it and pound it and pound it and pound, just not let up until you're gonna fucking fix the problem. That's all there is to it. Our kids are not gonna do this. They're not. So I want you to know I appreciate you giving us the fucking steam that, some of us were looking for. Some other people are jealous of you. They're fucking jealous of you. They're worried you might run against them. I was like, yeah, that's not my thing. I'm the behind-the-scenes manager guy, the consultant. I don't do the running for the campaign thing. So tell them, relax. I'm not running for shit. But if somebody else wants to run, I'll help them run. But I'm not going to run for shit. That's not my thing. Anyways, that's all. Your one little email. 7 years later, maybe this is it. You are pathetic and embarrassing. If some issue has pissed me off, you're gonna fucking know it. There'll be 20 emails about it, and I'm gonna hammer it and hammer it and hammer it and hammer it until I fucking see some changes. And it may not quite be the changes I want to see, but it's got to be something. I'm a lobbyist. Remember, I was a lobbyist before you ruined my career. You are in D.C. You got budget issues. You got national security issues. You got homeland security issues, immigration issues. You got education issues. You got, there's so many issues that a United States senator is going to have on his desk. And just in healthcare, 20,000 different diseases want their attention. My disease needs your attention, Senator. Oh my God. Okay, so the squeaky wheel's going to get you gotta pound it. There's a reason me and John and Lopez were yelling and screaming at each other because he said you're high maintenance. I'm like, yeah. What? I'm high maintenance? Yeah, you got to be shitting me with this, John. I'm high maintenance. I've seen DC lobbyists. I'm not fucking high maintenance. I don't know what in the world is that? So he and I had a discussion that was very heated. So there's going to be things that if you pissed me off on an issue, that you're going to be able to go back and look at and say, look at these tweets, look at these Facebook messages, look at these emails. The bitch was pissed about this. She was not going to let up. If you're able to make changes in your society, if you're able to make changes in your community, You got to be somebody that's going to hammer it and hammer it and hammer it and hammer it and just not let up. And Chris Comer and Steve Mascale and Dan Pope will all tell you that's Cynthia Ortiz. She will not let up. You're going to fucking fix the damn problem. That's all there is to it. Because this thing, we've been doing it that way for 30 years. No. Yeah, don't tell me that. Here's the problem. I don't care how long it's been a problem, and you just let it go. I want you to fix it, and I want you to fix it right now. It's not working. Don't tell me that the kids in Nevada can get their problem solved with a teacher in 3 days, and the kids in Lubbock aren't good enough for that. It's going to take us 10. And it's much smaller. There's not as many people here, and you got 3 school districts. I mean, come on. Nevada is 1. It's Clark County School District. That's it. That's all there is. So don't sit here and tell, well, we've been doing it that way 30 years. You mean you've been fucking it up for 30 years? That's what I just heard you say. So, status quo never worked for me. It never will. If there's some problem, Mr. Perry, that you pissed me off that I thought that only you could fix, and that I couldn't just go around you, I mean, more likely, in a situation where you're the new guy and you don't have any clout yet, and you don't have any, nobody fucking gives a fuck who you are, you're the new guy, you're one of the smallest districts in the state, you're 86% Republican voters are gonna vote for somebody just like you no matter what. I'm gonna go around you. I fucking don't need you. I'm gonna go to, there's other people that have a lot more power in the state of Texas. If I wanted something changed, I'm going to go to them. I'm not going to waste my time on somebody like you, just a little peon nobody, the new guy. So, I mean, you get off your fucking high horse. You don't come up with something 7 years after the fact and now, did he bring it up at the time? No. He doesn't have anything. There is nothing. He's imagined that he's, poor. I'm a political vendetta victim. Oh my God. Wow. So, the delusion was showing up. Is it personal? You don't tell everybody you got a victim of a political vendetta. It caused somebody to lose their liberty and their home and their fucking, reputation and a career. Because you need a lie. You don't do that. And they never expect everybody to feel sorry for you. We feel as sorry for you as we feel for the BTK killer, okay? Just want you to write that down. Make a list, everybody. How many times have I said that? How many times have I fucking said that? Okay. Lots of times. And then run around the state of Oklahoma telling people that we're a couple and you got a forged marriage license and, you're entitled to information you're not entitled to. We're nothing. Don't call me babe. Don't call me. If you get anywhere near me, I'll beat the shit out of you. You don't know. I'll beat the fuck out of you. The surprise will be, sir, that your balls will be in your brain very fast. That will be the surprise. You don't understand. Everybody hates you. I mean, you don't blow somebody's life up, not just once or twice, but over and over and over, and then go, okay, let's hug. What? I mean, who the fuck says, golly, who the fuck says shit like that? All right, this is the death threats I got at my work. I'm just going to work, right? Minding my own business. This is what law enforcement, you have to insist on what you want. I think Bill O'Reilly said something similar. At one point, you get the government you ask for. If you want a better government, then fucking get a better government. You're the people, choose it. You're going to have to live with it. You're going to jail, Perry. That's why we're quoting you, and you're not quoting us. Everybody's sick of you. You killed a cop, and I know you killed a cop. And I've said that. Do you want to face me in court like a fucking dude for once? And let's talk about what you did to Mike Neely in front of a jury and let them decide. We can do his criminal case like my way instead of his fucking fail attorney Gene Mitchell. How about I argue for Mike Neely in a civil case that we can kind of tweak into your criminal case? Would you like to do that? I'm happy to do that. Okay? I'm happy to do that. That's why you guys did your little ex parte behind the scenes. And then you go around going, well, the 3-judge panel. Oh, fuck no. Everybody knows about the 3-judge panel on the 10th Circuit. They never saw my thing. You had the law clerks doing that. Because we heard your conversations that you do. Can I just be candid with you? I'll make it worth your while. I'm as weirdo as she says. over and there's a list, sir. Name one other victim that has what I have. Name one. Didn't you have some guys today go, quit asking us to do what she can do? We don't have the training she has. This thing on bullshit. Yeah, we're not trained for that. You know what I wasn't trained for? Patrol. They can do what I can't do. I can do what they can't do. Different people have different talents and shit. Okay? That's just how, it's like mixing a cake. You mix it all together and it works. It tastes good. The baking soda tastes bad by itself. Okay? The sugar tastes funky by itself. Okay? It all mixes together. Everybody works together to catch bad guys just like you. Because the goal is relieve suffering caused by crime. And you're hated. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. Bet your life, bet your future on the fact that it's just psychic abilities. And the Fabian puzzle just psychic that to me magically somehow. Now, I'm going to tell you for the last time. Shut up about your political vendetta until you can... here we are 7 years later. You still don't have one. You got one email that I don't even remember what it was about. I remember something to do with schools. And I said, I do remember that I saw the word sharpening their knives. That Chris, Wynn, and Irene were sharpening their knives because they were still pissed off that you beat out Delwyn. So I was concerned that you were gonna that was gonna. I think there was already rumblings about, oh, here's our Achilles heel. Here's where we can get him. So I was letting you know that, if I remember right. I haven't seen the email. I don't remember what it was about. So it wasn't a political issue that I was mad at you for. You don't matter. I know you wish you do. I know you wish to God you matter. You just fucking don't. You never did. You don't. I don't waste my time on little bitches who have a very small... I'm sorry, but you're wasting my time. I didn't do state legislation, sir. I did federal. I don't waste my time on the state deal. The only reason I did New Mexico was because there were children that's hearts were broken that I sat and listened to cry for hours, and I promised them I will do what I can to turn things around so that no other kid has to go through that. I don't have money to give you. I can't undo the past. I'm sorry my family blew up your life. I wish I could fix it for you. If I had a wand, I would wave it and fix it. All I can do is kind of talk to these people in New Mexico at CYFD and the governor's office and the lieutenant governor's office and the senators and the assemblymen and see what we can't do to make the laws change so that there's oversight for faith-based teen rehab clinics, and it's not just it's a church, so they can rape the shit out of kids and beat the fuck out of kids and feed them moldy food or deprive them of good food and nutrition and doctor's office visits and education. And it's just, it's okay because it's a church. Freedom of religion. That's what we were hearing. And I'm like, oh yeah, I don't think so. So we tried to make some changes so they would have to be in compliance with some of the state laws regarding the requirements for education and food and your basic needs and rights. And here we are again. You're doing it worse. Depriving women and children of food, of basic rights and needs, and you're getting caught when you do it. To me, we quote you, you don't quote us. And I need you to write that down because I'm really tired of reminding you to get off your high horse and let's face facts. I'm quoting you, you're not quoting us. Who's Oscar? Who's Muffin Man? Who's Monique? Where is she right now? What other victim knew they were trafficked before, not after? What other victim goes, oh, they got a grand jury convened again, trying to put me back in jail. Just shut me up because I'm catching their crime like nobody's done before. They're seeing things happen they've not seen before. They want me to shut up. Mr. Kunzweiler, that's all this is about, and everyone knows that. Make sure the jury knows that. Okay, let's look at all the facts. Let's look at them in their totality. You're the one that's getting told on, sir, not me. I've not committed a crime. I'm complaining about your crime. Everybody's worried about how I feel, having lost so much, because you want to lie. And I will give you that. I will never give you that. I will never tell you who your leaks are. I'm not told that. Even if I knew, I will fucking never give you that. And you have a lot of nerve to even ask me. So we got all this. These are the fucking texts Tulsa PD never saw. What does that say? I just wanted to leave me the fuck alone. Yeah. What does that say? Let your life fade away. I'm trying to kill you. Just let me. Now this is about the death and destruction. That's the let your life fade away. I want to kill you. Because he said that Charles is mad that you ruined his facade. And I go, why have a facade? Why not just be you? Yeah, okay. This is from way back then. Did you want me to end up like that? TPD. And then you have to do a scramble. Have you seen the documentary? I got so mad at some of the people that could have done something before she ends up like that. And they're all crying, and they're all like, yeah, where were you before? When she needed you to help her get out of this situation. Where were you then, Mark Furman? Mark Furman took a call. She had no top on. She's out in the yard screaming and yelling. He's trying to kill me. Now you're here. When she's dead, now you got a dead body. Now you're there. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that. What about her kids? Yeah, you can't. That's not law enforcement. This one. How'd you know Mike had to be Hansel and Gretel? Is your code word for coaxed or begged to go to Pensacola? Well, here's the thing. I'm a subpoenaed witness, and you know that because you've sent me my subpoena. So why are you contacting me, murderer, killer, cop killer? Yep, this right here says we did it on purpose and we planned it. We just want to know if you know how we got him to talk him into going. Cops don't like cop killers. Do you know that? You might have someone on your payroll. Are you paying every cop in the country? Are you paying every cop in the country? Some of them want to kick your ass. Even after we have this, he's still, pull her over. Take her car. Pull her over. Then she'll like me. Take her car away. Pull her over. Then she'll like me. Can you ousting off her? Can you ousting? And they're like, we weren't trained for that. I don't know how to do that shit she does. We weren't trained for that. We were whole different kind of training, bitch. Okay, so after they get the, I'm going to take her car away the first time in 2019, this is what was reported to Officer Neely 6 days before you blew his life up. Again, obstructing justice, I assume? Is that what you were trying to do? You didn't want him to investigate my car vandalism complaint, which would have proven a perjury, right? When you contact me, we find out more, and yet you keep contacting me. Okay, so this was all in my trunk and also in a nearby room. They threw a brick at me on the freeway, murder attempt number 2 right there. It hit the asphalt, not my head, thank God. Busted my engine in 2. They hit me at the wheel. At the wheel. At the wheel. That's 3 different cars, by the way. At the wheel. This is the same car. 2 different incidents. See, here I'm at Lakeshore and Manford. Here I'm in Tulsa. 2 different events. Same car. This is a different car. Hit it at the wheel. Different car. Tried to hit the wheel and missed and got me at the back here. I'm sorry, that's the same car. That's my Volkswagen Jetta. And that's a Volkswagen Jetta. So look how many accidents that is. What are the chances? In my life, I've never had that many accidents. All together my whole life. Okay, here's Officer Neely. He took my police report on car vandalism. And 6 days later, this is him. Here. Your chief is dead. Your best friend is dead. Really? How'd that happen? You beat him. No, look at my hands. There's nothing on my hands. So I don't believe you. Well, it appears he was beat to death. Never did you see the guy go, well, you got injuries here, 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 and here, which, indicate you were in a drunken brawl and you guys fought. He never says that. Well, it appears he was beat to death. He's got a red sweat. There's nothing in the arrest report either to probable cause. There's always a problem when Mr. Perry's involved with probable cause. You just like lying, don't you? Well, don't ask other people to stoop to your level. Red swollen right hand is the only injury listed in the report associated with the event that caused the murder. And there's a second event after that. There's a subsequent injury after the whole murder thing is over. They pull Mike off of Chief Miller, throw him face first into the floor. He busts his nose and his lip. That's the second event. The event of the murder, he says there's a red swollen right hand, but look, there's an IV needle in it. So yeah, I don't think that's all that happened. Detective stupid. I don't know can't do your job for you. Here's this. I hate finger paint cops. Well, you got to get the finger paints and the puppets and the crayons in here. Okay, detective, here's what happened. Let's do your job for you. I had this happen all the time. People pulling up, taking pictures of me. It's creepy. Charles is creepy. Okay, here's the bond conditions of my arrest. Charles Perry's not to contact Cynthia again. I sued for breach of contract. Again, no trial, no hearing, no nothing. I got fucked again. They say it's res judicata. Well, but I had not sued for breach of contract, and there has to be a jury trial and an unfavorable outcome, and you just tried to do the same thing again in a different court, and that's not what happened. There's never been a jury trial on fuck. Mr. Perry's never overcome my evidence. He goes in a back room with the judge or makes a phone call, and everything's all of a sudden dismissed. So everybody gets mad. The least he could have done is made it right with her, what he put her through. But they fucked her again. Who the hell does this? So he got a lot more leaks out of that one. Just so you know. Should have made it right with her, and he didn't. He fucked her twice. So, yeah. Okay. So, no judge ruled on whether or not this constitutes a contract and whether or not it's binding to you. You admitted guilt and you agreed to stop, and you lied. You broke a promise. Yeah, well, everybody's met. Here's the dismissal. Here's the call back from TPD. Notice the date. She's asking for evidence. This is my arrest. Notice the date. No probable cause on a first arrest when police haven't even taken your evidence yet. After, before, after, before, after, before. The police are supposed to call you before and collect the evidence and then investigate, and then you can say whether or not it was false or true. Dumbass. Okay, there's my police report. Look at the date. Does that look like enough time to have investigated a police report on stalking? No evidence taken. Okay, they obstructed justice and I lost my evidence. I didn't get a blood test. If Mr. Perry wasn't giving me arsenic, he would have made sure there was a blood test. There would have been a drama queen press conference. Oh, look, everybody feels sorry for me. Everybody feels sorry for me. She lied. She said I poisoned her. I didn't poison her. See, she lied. See, the blood test is right here. See, you feel bad for me. Oh, poor me. Yeah, but you didn't do that. You made sure there was no test. Me and Mike both suffered degradation of our evidence. What are the chances? And they're both linked to you. We can spot a pattern the second time you do it. Doesn't take us 7 years. When you bother me, you get caught. When you take my money and my privacy or anything at all, an eyelash. I lose an eyelash because of you. You get caught. It's the way it works. Cause and effect, dum-dum. You need to keep up. Okay, this is my shrink saying, yeah, she's not crazy. She's sick of being stalked. We have a whole page. There's a whole page on that one. You got to file a police report in the state of Oklahoma if you want a protective order. Somebody's threatening you with death and false arrest, you need one, don't you think? 11 times, Mr. Perry bought his way out. I've tried to get a judge to make him leave me alone. And, he buys judges. Everybody knows that. So the 3-panel judge bullshit, nobody believes you. Not now. Not after all you did that. Not after as many times as you go into court. And there's no jury. I get to present my evidence and you overcome it. This evidence right here is the same fucking evidence. So nobody believes you anymore. Well, how much did he pay? Who did he pay? Did he pay the law clerk or did he pay the actual judges on the 10th Circuit? Tell us. You tell us, okay? Tell your grand jury. Okay, and tell your grand jury how you send men into my work to harass me. Write this down, everybody. This is very important. These words are going to resonate through history for a long time. 6 years in a strip club, not one slip up. Yeah, okay. I'm going to let you tell the grand jury what the fuck that means. Okay? You do it. I'll let you. Now, don't forget, we all understand sarcasm, snark, metaphors, and analogies. In my whole life, I'm 53 years old. I've worked with surgeons and elected officials. In my entire life, never once have I had to explain myself on sarcasm, snark, analogies, or metaphors until I had to do it with you. Everybody else just knew what I meant. It's not hard. I don't speak a foreign language. So why is it that you have to be told, this is a metaphor, this is an analogy, this is sarcasm, this is snark, you're not supposed to take it literally, dum-dum. And yet we do have to do that for you over and over and over and over. Ugh. Yeah. Don't call me babe. Okay, so here's the thing. He's asking me if I have a wire on. I can't get into trouble. You might have a wire on. And I'm like, yeah, I don't have a wire. Well, clearly I recorded him, so I had something. I didn't have a wire on, but I had something in my purse. Okay, so we got Mr. Perry just contacted me again. So everybody write it down. We're going to get caught some more tomorrow because Perry contacted her again. Don't invade her privacy. Don't contact her or her family. And get your fucking hands out of her wallet. How much more did we get since then? Yeah, write it down, dumbass. It's not hard. Okay, here we go, right here. Two hours, he'll give you $5,000. This is solicitation for prostitution, and you don't do that to pass laws in Texas. You didn't know? We've told you. This isn't what a guy does to pass a law in Texas, solicit prostitution. At my work in Oklahoma, where I have a legit reason to be and you don't. Yeah. That'll make you not want to go to work. Shit like that going on. Oh, shit. My guy, like, the political thing that he says, too, at the end of it. You could ruin it politically. And I'm like, look, I don't give a care. He doesn't matter. I know he wishes he did. He just fucking doesn't. Look, again, doesn't it look like I have a wire on? He keeps bringing up the wire problem. Now, why would you ask somebody, are you wearing a wire? Unless you're saying something you know could get you in some trouble. He says it 3 times in this conversation. This is the type up of it, the transcripts of it, the actual recordings here too. You can listen to it. Right here. Politically, it wouldn't do a damn thing. And I'm like, and then he goes, politically, you could ruin him. And I'm like, what? Politically, you could ruin him. Yeah, I don't give a shit about that. I just wanted to leave me alone. Okay, where's the political vendetta here, Mr. Perry? Yeah, you don't have one. You have delusion problems. You live in a pretend world. You've lost your grasp on reality. You can no longer tell the difference between fact and fiction. How is it you're not in a nursing home already? That's just irresponsible of your doctor. I'm going to say it. Our shrink said that. Our shrink was like, his doctor ought to have his license yanked for not putting him in the hospital. Okay, as much as we quote him and he still thinks he has a choice when he's told, leave her alone. Get out. Then, I mean, he needs to be in the hospital. Here's the recording right here. Okay, so, and then there's my doctor, Dr. Russell. Same thing, you can listen to her here. She says the arrest was a stalking escalation. You need to ignore Mr. Perry, but sometimes what you have with this guy is that he'll escalate more than you can ignore. Like wrecking your car, now you got to deal with the wrecked car. Having you pulled over, now you got to go, well, should I leave the house? He's having me pulled, he just typed in my phone just now. Yes, we're having you pulled over. Duly note that for the record, it is 1:19 a.m., June 15th, 2023. Charles Perry just typed in my phone, yes, we're going to have you pulled over. Okay, Mr. Quince Wheeler? Make sure the grand jury hears that. I've been subjected to those kind of threats constantly. That's why we quote y'all and you don't quote us. We're naming your people, Oscar. You're not naming ours. You don't know who our guys are. 6 years in a strip club, not one slip up. Then you had another chance, 5 weeks, and again, you got nothing. When you're mean to people, they tend to clam up and just, they get more guarded, right? I don't know. People are worried about how I feel, that you want to have me pulled over constantly and take my car and ruin my reputation and do another false arrest just like you did the first one and murder me and Mike. And when we don't die, then you do the false arrest bullshit. People are worried about how we feel about going through that, not how you feel about when you get caught. How your family feels about your betrayal. You promised to love your wife until the day you die. So go love your wife until the day you die. You promised to leave me alone, so leave me the fuck alone. I don't like you. I fucking don't like you. I moved twice, not to ever again have to hear what you think. Or have any conflict, and, yuck, you're gross. You're just nasty. I don't like you. Move on. Then we keep track of all this. We've got a lot of the perjury and fraud here. Text from guys that he sent to my work. In Lucky and Mike's case, we've gone over. We do a lot of stuff on this blog to document the crime. This is my work product, basically. And I'm not doing this by myself. The guys that are helping me, there's two. Every time I'm quoting you, I'm not in the room with you. They're getting that from you and giving it to me. I'm not there in the same room with you guys when you're planning to have me pulled over. And use taxpayer dollars to harass this girl. Use taxpayer-funded resources to harass a stalking victim and try to coerce her and make her be trafficked. Who's Oscar? Okay, so he instigates and antagonizes and instigates and provokes and antagonizes and instigates and provokes and antagonizes and pesters and bothers and takes money. And the more I'm broke, the longer I'm broke, the longer Michael Neely's in jail, the longer you're invading my privacy, and the more you're contacting me against my will, the more we get. It's been that way for years. What days? He's probably about done right now, don't you think? He's been at it for 10 years now. I don't quote everything. How long do you think I've known Catherine was a victim? You think I just found that out today? Okay. You think what you want to think. You guys think a lot of things. All of it's kind of strange. Basically, your best bet is when a woman says, leave me the fuck alone. Leave her the fuck alone. There's social norms. There's deviancy. You're far outside social norms. You're very, very deviant. You're very, very demented, depraved, deranged. And everybody's tired of that being imposed on us in a state where you don't live and don't have any business being. Barring you're doing exactly what we say, you shouldn't know where I live. You shouldn't know what I'm doing at any given time. You shouldn't know when and where I'm working. It's not your business. You should know, Calvin, how much money I have in the bank, or how much cash I have, or how much gasoline I have. You're using Dasher app to limit my income, interfere with my commerce and contracts, and get me to go down Yale or whatever, so you can have me a broken arrow or to have me pulled over. Using taxpayer-funded resources for personal harassing of a victim, criminal activity, intimidation, coercion. There's 20 different words I could use right there. There's the list. You were told not to contact me again. You don't have any filters, do you? This is like, here's what it's like. It's like you're in a fucking bank robbery and you got 20 cops right behind you with guns to all to your back telling you, put your hands up, sir. And you're looking at the teller going, who called the cops? Give me all the money. And then she's like, what? You want me to give you all the money? And the cops are like, dude, bank robbery's over. Now, follow the verbal command I just gave you. Put your hands up. Put your hands up and step back. And then they handcuff you and you're gone. And we're done. And everybody's happy. Nobody got hurt. But you're like the bank robber still trying to rob the bank when you got 20 cops standing with a gun to your back telling you put your hands up. And you're telling the teller, who told on me? Who leaked? Who called the cops? Who's telling on me? Who leaked on me? Give me all the money. Well, but you got cops right behind you, dumbass. They're quoting everything you say. It's like that. That's a metaphor, Matt. Mr. Powell. We call that a metaphor. Okay? Dumville. So, yeah, I've never in my life had to tell people, this is a metaphor, and this is an analogy, and this is sarcasm, and this is snark, and this is not supposed to be taken literally, okay? Everybody, get your puppets and crayons out so we can help the people who are slower than the rest of us understand words, grown-up words.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes. First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her is, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Right. So I said don't contact me. I've said it every day for a decade. Not a day, not a week, not a month, not a year. 10 years. Don't fucking bother me anymore. Do not contact me or my family again. Not in any way, shape, or form. Don't invade my privacy. Get the fuck out of my phone. Get out of my computer. Don't watch me in my house. You don't have my consent. Fuck off. Fuck off. And the more you don't, the more we get. We're getting it to put you in jail. Because if you can't stop yourself, no filters or whatever your problem is, then they're going to do it for you. That's what cops do through the normal legal process. We've said that over and over and over and over and over for years. And because you don't understand what people say, we got Calvin's name, Oscar's name, Sonjay's name, Beverly's. We got a list, sir. We got a list. Oh, she was trafficked. He sold her to a guy in Houston. He took half up front, and he's trying to make delivery so he can get the other half. So he's bullying her and bullying her and bullying her and I said no. Didn't I say shove that up your ass? You're not going to traffic me. I said no. You guys get up every day going, does she not change her mind yet? Can we not get her to change her mind yet? Maybe she needs to be more broke. Maybe we need to make her really, really broke. More crime. More charges. You got cops standing behind you. They give you a verbal command. You don't contact her or her family again. You don't invade her privacy again. You get your hands out of her wallet. You don't take her money. Respect the law. Comply with the fucking law. Comply with the fucking law. Alright? You're imposing and everybody hates you. That's why we can get the information and we're quoting you. You're not quoting us. You don't have one of my guys' names. We got your people's names, don't we? You contact me, we get more. Is that what you like? You like getting us more? It's a very, very big motivating factor, Mr. Perry, for everybody to talk and tell us what you're up to. When you take my money, invade my privacy, contact my family or I, and cause a problem. Cause a fight, cause a conflict, cause a problem. You cause a problem, we get more. You contact me, we get more. You cause a loss, including of my privacy, we get more. Nothing else has happened in 10 years but that. Every fucking day, all fucking day long. Get off your ass and go work. Go home to your family. And leave everybody alone. In our case, you're going to have to prove what you did with your time all damn day. Because you're doing exactly what we say. You sit on your fat, lazy ass, and you pester and bother and terrorize and horrify, and pester and bother and threaten and harass and terrorize and horrify, and everybody hates you. They're sick of you. So we can get information and you cannot. We're quoting you, you're not quoting us. Okay? Remember, reality is, guys, we quote you, you're not quoting us. We have your names, you don't have our guys' names. That happens more often the more you invade my privacy, and Perry goes at me and goes at me and goes at me and pesters and goes at me and goes at me. Stop contacting me. I don't care what you think. Did I ask you? I did not, Connie Curry. Butt out of my business. I said no. Trafficking is a very serious crime. So is coercion. So is depriving somebody of their human rights. You're seeing things happen you've not seen before when you do it to me. What does that mean to y'all? Huh? What does it mean? I said no. I said fuck off. Fuck the hell off me. You want my guys to back off you? You better back off me. You go at me harder, you notice they're going to go at you harder. They're protecting me while they investigate you so they can put you in jail. That is the goal. Name one person that you know that has gotten closer to that goal than we have. And bet your future on the fact that it's psychic abilities. I'd love to see that. I'm not going to be trafficked. I don't know how many different ways I can say the same thing. I said no. I'm not going to be trafficked. I'm not going to be trafficked. I'm not going to be trafficked. You want to continue to do the crime to me, they'll continue to get whatever they need to get to put you all in jail, and there's no more. We don't have to deal with this anymore. That's the goal. It is illegal to traffic. Human trafficking and human rights violations is a very, very, very big thing right now. It's a very serious matter. I don't know what kind of people do that. I really don't. My mind cannot eat. Most people's minds cannot even begin to understand what in the fuck is wrong with somebody that does that. So we're quoting you. You're not quoting us. I want y'all to say that again. She's quoting us. We're not quoting them. Her people. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. It's been that way for years. Charles, you're rejected. You fail. You're a rejected fail. You're not loved. You're not wanted. You're told on and told on and told on and told on. Get a grip on reality. You need to control yourself. You don't have any filters. You know the filters we all have that says, yeah, don't do that. It's inappropriate and illegal. It's illegal for a reason. People don't like it when you do that. You don't have that, do you? Yeah, you're about 10 years past a good time for a nursing home. I'm surprised you're not in one now. I really am. I'm not going to be trafficked. I'm not going to be trafficked. Cynthia Ortiz. I said no to being trafficked. I said no. No means no. We shouldn't have to say it more than once. Charles, when you contact me, which you just did now, I said no. We're going to get more. When we quote you guys again tomorrow, Charles contacted me probably, 10 times during this podcast. He's going to have me pulled over. I said no. I said no to being... If I get pulled over, okay, well, I told you so. I did say. Right? If, I said no to being trafficked, I said no, I won't have anything to do with you. You're rejected. Bye. Move on. Keep up with the rest of us, please. I said no to being trafficked. You're pissing us off. What happens when you piss us off? We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. No means no. Women shouldn't have to say it more than once.
I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why
No. Just
leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
and leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't.
Charles just contacted me again. When you contact me, we get more. You don't get a date. Nobody's going to help you. Everybody hates your guts more by the day. And we get more. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us.
Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why
Just
leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
and leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why
Just
leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
and leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me
You can
alone.
all you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to, but even when they're not. Unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
All right. I'm going to close with this. Once again, I'm having to repeat myself. Mr. Kunstweiler, I'm going to tell you, I guess, on this podcast, if you listen to these, if there's a grand jury, my guess is you are. So I don't know how many different ways I can say the same thing. We're quoting them. They're not quoting us. I did know about a grand jury. Most victims they want to do a false arrest for. I assume don't know that before, not after. Right? The pullovers. We've got tons of those. Okay? I said no to being trafficked. And now Mr. Perry wants everybody to feel bad for him and hear what he has to think about getting caught trafficking. And that I said no. Okay, but the rest of the world, is worried about me having to deal with someone trying to traffic me and all the loss Mr. Perry's caused me. No one gives a fuck about what the offenders think and how they feel. They're worried about the victims. The victims matter. Mr. Perry does not. So, the reason we have no problem getting that kind of information is because everybody wants to know how we feel being the victims of crime, not how the offender feels that he's not going to get to carry out his crime of trafficking and that he got caught again. Nobody gives two fucks about that. So, for the record, I've said that before, I'm saying it again. We're not having problems getting information. You are. You've called and called and called. We don't make the kind of phone calls you make. We don't ask about leaks. We don't have leaks. It's a need to know. You're a very dangerous, cruel man. And so it's a need to know. We don't owe you any explanation. We don't owe you shit. And there's a lot that's none of your business. It's a need to know. A lot of these guys can get a conversation with you face to face, and none of you know that's who you're talking to because it's a need to know. You're going to call around. You're going to get some people say, I don't know what the hell she's talking about. I don't know anything about that. Some are telling you the truth and some are not. And you're not going to know which one's which until it's too damn late. Right now, metaphorically, you're in a bank robbery asking the teller for all the money, and you have 20 cops standing right behind you, guns pulled, telling you a verbal command, put your hands up. And you're screaming and yelling, who called the cops, give me all the money. And we're like, dude, bank robbery's over. Bank robbery's over. You're not responding to a verbal command properly. Maybe you need to see the shrink. He said in March 2020, you don't invade her privacy anymore. You don't contact her or her family again at all in any way, shape, or form, directly or indirectly. She's not to be broke again. You are to comply with the law. And if you don't, you're going to have to deal with us. Since that time, how much more have we gotten? That you guys all have to run around going, how'd you find out about that? How'd you know? And it will be used against you in a court of law to get a conviction. The more we get, the easier that will be. Dum-dum. You're just not all there, are you? We're wondering why you're not in a nursing home already. I said no, I will not be trafficked. I will not be trafficked. You're not going to coerce me. You're pissing us off. When you piss us off, we get more. We're all motivated now. Everybody's motivated now to put you in jail so we don't have to deal with this stuff anymore. Human trafficking, human rights violations are very, very serious. I don't know who the hell you think you are. It's different when you do the crime to me, but it's the same every time you do it, dum-dum. You need to try to keep up with the rest of us, okay? Get the fuck out of my life. Today.
That's okay. I don't care. Leave me alone. You want. I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumb ass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. You need to leave her alone. And this is...
You don't have the right to me. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. You don't have the right to me. You don't have the right to break the law. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. Listen, Perry. He's typing in my phone right now. I do have the right to you. No, you don't. You're a delusional whack job. You're caught when you do it to me. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. Who's Oscar? Who's Blankenship and Desiree? Who's Muffin Man? Who's Sanjay? Who's Bald Fat Calvin? Who's Beverly? Who's Renee? Who's James, Ruben, Richard, Dickey, Lawrence, Andrew? Who are those people? Who are those people to you? Get a grip on reality. We're quoting you. You're not quoting us. Go ahead and bet your future on the fact that I'm psychic, okay? You do that. We'll see how that works out for you.